So I got a new pair of contact lenses in because I got a new rifle. This is the Savage Mk2 F, and this one does not have the Accu trigger. And I picked this up at one of my local Walmarts for like $150, around the $160 mark plus tax. And I wanted to see just how good this little rifle is. I've actually been eyeballing it for quite some time now, and every time I went to go get it, they were out of stock. And finally, I got one, as you can see here. With a little overview of this rifle first, I'm going to be setting this up and shooting it with iron sights only at 25 and 50 yards. And I want to share the first shots with you. Brand new barrel. And the reason why I'm using iron sights is because they did not include scope mounts. So I'm going to have to get those on order and get a scope on this as soon as possible. This is a 21-inch button rifled 16-inch twist. With 8 grooves and lands in this barrel, I think this rifle will be accurate and precise. So now I'm going to show you real quick before I start shooting it what the trigger pull is. I'm going to go ahead and put a spent 22 casing in here, because I do not want to damage the firing pin, because it'll peen your chamber. Four pounds and 3.5 ounces, or 3.2 ounces, excuse me. With that said, this trigger really isn't that bad. And they include a 10-round magazine. So I'm going to get this set up at 25 yards, shooting the CCI standard velocity 40 grain target loads, and see what it can do. So I got the Savage Mk2 here at 25 yards with the CCI standard velocity. First shots out of the rifle. Iron sights. Shooting a little to the right. Out of the box. Looks like the last 4 down there at 25 yards went almost in the same hole they're touching. Woo! So I got a target set up at 50 yards now on paper. Let's see what this can print with iron sights. So here is my target after I figured out that the sights were off to the right at 25 yards. I then got a more steadier hold, and you can see 4 of them out of the 5, the next 5 shot group with the CCI standard velocity, 4 were touching here at 25 yards. And then I took it out to 50 yards, and not much to brag about there for iron sights. I am not an iron sight shooter, and I'll admit that, but I'm definitely going to keep this target and compare it to once I get some scope bases mounted on this rifle and get a scope on it and see how well it does, if that improves any at all. So for a $150-ish rifle out the door, I definitely cannot complain. I had the Savage 64 model, but this one is a little different. And again, I am not an iron sight shooter, but once I know where my point of impact is, I can adjust for that. And, you know, again, the limitations are me using iron sights at farther ranges than 25, obviously. So I appreciate you watching as always, and stay tuned in for more with this rifle coming. So I got some spinners set up at 50 yards. Let's see if I can hit them. Missed the small one, I could barely see it.